My name is Bridget Melton, and I'm an audio describer here in the United States. Pre-pandemic, my focus was on descriptions for live performances and events, and of course everything is different now. As we shift to virtual mediums, here are 3 ways to provide audio descriptions for your virtual events and how to support your access provider so that you get the best possible service for your audience. First up is simply tasking any presenters with providing their own audio descriptions as they speak. When they are introduced, have them give a short sentence or 2 description of themselves and their environment if it supports the program. If any visuals are used, make sure they describe them. This can mean obvious visuals such as pictures, videos, or infographics, but also physicality, such as hand gestures, verbalizing audience engagement, or technical issues. If your audience reacts to a visual, take a moment to describe it. And lastly, if a speaker has not been involved for a length of time, make sure that a quick name is said to reintroduce the voice. Moving on, if your event has been pre-recorded or even parts of it pre-recorded, then pre-record your audio description. This will allow for higher quality descriptions as they have been scripted and the audio levels matched, and it also lessens the chance of tech snafus. While there are many different kinds of video and recording software out there, personally I use Apple's Final Cut Pro. On the screen now I have opened Final Cut Pro showing my edits for a recent project. There are 3 basic steps to producing the descriptions. I first start with the original media on my timeline. Then I move through the video and leave markers where I think potential description might go. Next, I script out my descriptions by using captions, placed at suitable pauses in the audio. I then write the description and rehearse to make sure it fits in the pause allotted. As the final layer, I move through the captions, recording each one, adjusting the script and audio levels as I go. While this is the most time-intensive and costly way to deliver descriptions, again, it will result in a more polished and seamless experience for your audience. And lastly, to provide live descriptions, where the describer is delivering them in real time, there are 2 general paths you can take. The most used platform for both is Zoom, which I have open now on the screen at the login page. You can have open descriptions where everyone can hear it, and the describer is usually set up as a panelist. You can also do closed descriptions, either by having end users call in to a separate Zoom call to hear the descriptions, which necessitates needing 2 devices, or by using the language interpretation feature in your meeting. Here is a quick outline of how to set that up. First, in order to use the language interpretation feature, the host of the meeting must have a Zoom license, but the audio describer and participants do not. Then, before creating the meeting, the host should make sure that they have turned on the language interpretation feature in their account. On screen now, I have opened the Settings menu of Zoom, which you can reach by clicking on Settings in the main menu on the far left side of the page. Next, in the first column of options under the Meeting heading, click on the In Meeting Advanced option. Then scroll down until you see the Language Interpretation setting and make sure it is toggled on. It should appear in a light blue color if it is. Once you turn it on, it will remain on until you turn it off. Later, when creating a meeting, enter in all of your criteria as usual, but make sure that at the bottom of the meeting setup page, shown here, you check the box for Enable Language Interpretation. During the meeting or event, any participants that wish to hear the closed audio descriptions can then click on the interpretation icon at the bottom of the meeting screen and opt in, shown here as the option second from the right, a circle with latitude and longitude lines over it. Overall, the translator function works well because it allows anyone to listen without needing to declare themselves. It has closed descriptions to prevent possible overstimulation of other participants, and no extra logins or steps are needed for the participants. Some downsides to the translator function are that you have to declare a language being translated, such as French, as there is no write-in option or selection for audio description, which might be confusing to some participants. You are also limited to 1 describer, as 2 describers, even if on the same language, cannot hear each other and so cannot work in tandem. And lastly, the original audio will be ducked or lowered anytime the describer speaks, which might cause pertinent information to be missed, especially if the original audio is fast-paced. Back now in my living room, let's close up by discussing how you can support your service providers. When booking, always give as much lead time as possible and have an idea of the kind of descriptions you're wanting. for example, extemporaneous or scripted, and how they will be delivered, such as Zoom or pre-recorded. Other useful items in no particular order are a run of show, preferred names, pronouns, and pronunciations for anyone that will be described, who the intended audience is, such as public or private meetings, all pre-recorded material, even if providing the service live, as studying the materials provides a better service. Especially if the event is heavy on visuals, as much as possible, make sure the original materials provide breadth for inline descriptions. A script, if there is one, whether it is a performance or an event, as those usually have stage directions and notes in them to provide insight into the important visuals. Tech rehearsals, if anything is being delivered live. And lastly, advertise the access you are offering, including the names of the service providers. Some audiences seek out specific describers to follow, and some audiences may decide to attend solely based on the access provided. So shout it from the rooftops and list your access and providers anywhere you advertise the event. Show from the beginning that all are welcome. That does it for the basics of providing audio description for your virtual events and how to support your service provider. If you have any questions or follow-up, you can find me online at bridgetmelton.com.